Welcome to Sam Outside. I'm Sam and I'm outside. Today I want to offer you 3 options for journaling. I use nature as a form of stress relief. Just being outside does wonders. However, sometimes we can't always go outside and there's still many possibilities, so many possibilities for stress relief. And for me, the act of writing things down really helps. There's something special that happens when you use your hand and you put into words thoughts, experiences, and just feelings. And then the act of reading your own handwriting really helps reinforce it. It can help open doors. It can also help close the door if that's what you need. So the first type, we're gonna call it reflection. All right. So we all have that event. Maybe it's a conversation that didn't go the way we want. Maybe it was an event, or maybe it's just an individual that keeps coming into our mind. Call it rumination, but it's a sore point. It's a stress. So for this one, this type of journaling, I recommend for those times when you're feeling hurt or stressed. So it's blank piece of paper, 20 minutes, all of it. Just pour it all out. Just write down all of your thoughts. Maybe it's just like a detailed journal entry as if you were being interviewed or interviewing yourself, as it were. All of the circumstances, point form or whatever, sentence, just write it all down. 20 minutes, undisturbed, get it all out. What that does, your brain is reliving that moment. And it's how, well, what if, and I should have, or I could have. So by writing it all down and being specific as you can, and there's no editing, there's no punctuation, just let it flow. Get it all out. That act of writing it down and the connection to your body, creating the action in your mind, reliving it in detail to its fullest potential, with no limit. Just try and get as much done as you can. So sometimes it can take more, but try and at least spend 20 minutes getting all those thoughts down. Once that activity is done, maybe it's a page, maybe it's 2 pages, maybe the pages just keep going. You can come back to it later, but it truly does help close the door on that particular stress. And it should lift the weight. That's what it does. That's what it's meant to do, is lift the weight. The next form of journaling, I would say, for when you're feeling numb, right? Just feeling stuck. So for that, gratitude. Now for this one, it might not come easy, but I am grateful for the sun today. I am grateful for the ability to go outside. I am grateful for, and make it personal, right? It's about you. And it's just a list. Start with 5 things you're grateful for. And what that does is it starts to reframe your mind from that focus of stress and the things you can't quite wrap your mind or give reason to. And it forces your brain to rewire its way of thinking. And you'll be amazed at how quickly your brain starts to, and the rest of your body and your thoughts start to follow the act of finding positive things in life, in moment, in your day, right? So make a list. I am grateful for, I am grateful for, I am grateful for. And then the third type of journaling, the third entry, we'll call it directional journaling. And this is where you find a problem. This is the challenge. Here are the impacts. Here is a plan to move forward. I find this difficult. It's affecting this part of my life. Here are some steps. I should, I could, I am going to, I will start to, and then go from there. And it provides focus and it gives direction. Now, that act alone will be enough to relieve that, oh, okay, I'm not stuck anymore, or I'm not without a plan. All right. I've provided some support, right? And there are definitely things and people, options you have for providing that. So sharing those lists or sharing those events definitely help, right? So talking to someone goes a long way. And there are thousands of resources available online, over the phone. Make an appointment in person to talk to somebody who's trained to help listen and help provide and help guide and provide options and steps, next steps for improving the quality of your life. So it starts with carving out some time, and it doesn't take that long, maybe 20 minutes if you're going to do some reflective journaling, but just write something down, right? We all have that thing or that event or that person, that conversation that, keeps coming up, and we need to close the door on that just so we can move forward. And in the gratitude, it's just a flip of the switch. It'll change the other thought patterns and emotional onset focus for the rest of your time or day. And then the directional definitely helps give you some focus. So 3 types of journaling, doesn't take that long. Always do it by hand. That body-mind connection, so important. All right, don't worry about punctuation. And then it doesn't hurt, to revisit. All right, so, and sometimes there are acts of closure to be completed upon writing that list, and just, recycling it, shredding it, burning it, all right, letting it go. But it's the act of writing, all right, the act of putting those emotions and thoughts and feelings down on paper by hand and reading it. And then that was the point. And that's where it ends. And there are so many different reasons for doing it. And it's used in sports psychology and professional development. It's used, I use it at work with young learners who experience time outside of nature. And when we go back inside, it's a nice way to close off the end of the day. And it does allow for opportunities of sharing, and that builds connection. All right. So many different reasons for journaling and sharing. Start by sharing it with yourself, sharing it by hand on paper, and then go from there. All right. For me, time in nature is one of many forms of stress relief. Breathe. Have some tea. Go outside. All right. Thank you very much. Write it down. I appreciate your time and support. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.